Hi, I'm Mariella from Magical Daydream. Last video, I talked to you about what you can do to stop procrastinating and start doing the things you love. So I explained 7 steps that you can take to make any dream that you have creatively or even otherwise into an action plan and into reality. So thank you for your enthusiastic responses and questions. I talked a little bit about something that I created, my instant inspiration kit, a poster collection with lots and lots and lots of ideas. There's all these different posters, and each poster is a different category, and for each poster, there's a list of ideas. So this could be anything from, say, home improvement ideas or garden improvement ideas to kindness ideas, street art ideas, ways to have more fun and be more playful, ways to make every day more magical, countless of ideas. So what I basically aim for is to create something that can bring you from a situation where you feel like you're not really inspired and you don't have a lot of time to create, to something that can very quickly bring you into a creative mode. I did this because I know what it's like to be stuck creatively. And basically, I went from a place in my life where I was very creatively stuck to a place where I feel a lot more creative these days. And that's something that I would love to share with you. And so, for today's topic, I would like to talk a little bit about what you can do to keep inspired, to have that happy vibe in your life, the inspiration to create, the want to do more fun things. Basically, I think there are two main directions in things you can do to keep yourself inspired. And the first one has a lot to do with taking care of yourself. So, for example, that would include sleeping enough, eating healthy, but also doing things you love. That's part of it. But also things like exposing yourself to nature, like go for a walk, get some fresh air, things like that. Often when life gets busy, we get so sucked up into all the madness that sometimes we just forget the very basic things. And you can have all the ideas you want, but if you're tired and exhausted, you're not going to want to do that. And as far as the second part goes, I think it's really important that you need to expose yourself to new ideas. And the good thing is that you can do this in a lot of different ways. And I will go through a few of these ones that I use to keep inspired. So, first of all, books. I think reading is an excellent way to gain new ideas because so much is written. Personally, I try to read for at least half an hour every single day. There are so many beautiful books and so many intelligent writers out there that it's a very nice way to expose yourself to lots of different ideas that you never even had thought about that existed. Second, heroes. Heroes can be a great source of inspiration and ideas. And these heroes might be living or dead, they might be people you admire right now, or people that used to be childhood heroes. Any any person that you admire and that inspires you. And personally, I love childhood heroes as a source of inspiration and ideas. So, for example, for me, that would be people like Pippi Longstocking. The way she plays, the way she sees her home as kind of a playground. Um, but also people like Stargirl, who is a fictional character in a book. So again, the combination of heroes and books they can overlap, of course. And just her immense kindness and her personal way of not caring what the rest of the world thinks of her. The third way you can gain new ideas is through people, mainly conversations. So you might have some memory of having a very nice conversation with either a friend or sometimes even a complete stranger. And something in this conversation just sparked this whole new train of thought. And sometimes you will find that certain people in your surroundings, maybe a friend or a relative, have this sort of a gift or a characteristic that every time when you speak to them, you feel inspired when you leave them. So those are the kind of people that you want to hang out more with. The fourth source of inspiration for me would be things that other people make. And for me, it's both in either literally what they make or the process of how they make it. So I might get very inspired from watching a video of somebody else making something, and sometimes just the process of seeing somebody at their craft really makes me want to make things myself. But even just going to exhibitions and seeing only a finished product, so to speak, they also inspire new ideas. And sometimes it's not literally the same thing, but just, for example, use of color that I think, oh, I can use this in my own this or that, or a certain technique or idea or whatever it is. New ideas spark new ideas. So we've had books, we've had heroes, we've had people and conversations, and we've had things other people make. And while all of these might be very good sources of inspiration, they also take time and energy sometimes to gain them. It takes some time to go to an exhibition. It takes time to read. All of these things take a little bit of your time and energy. And I think it's energy and time well spent, but it can also be difficult. And so that's where my instant inspiration kit comes in. Because whereas normally you would spend hours and hours gaining a couple of new ideas, I just created this instant way of having access to hundreds ideas. Or in fact, there are actually 1001 ideas if you get all the posters. Because I know that you are busy and I know you want to create more, and you already do sometimes, but it can be hard. And what good ideas do is they spark new ideas. When you have a good idea, you can't stop thinking about it. You get enthusiastic about it. Sometimes you cannot even sleep from it if you have a very good idea. Once you're in this state, it's very easy to create. Once you're enthusiastic about something and you're passionate about something, it's easier to make the time to create something, to put in the energy. But getting to the stage where you feel that way about an idea sometimes can be a little bit difficult. So I'm confident that from just reading through all the ideas that I came up with and that I bundled into this poster collection, that you will be able to get inspired, that you will read through them and find a couple that make you feel excited. So either you will read an idea that you instantly love and want to carry out right away, or you will read an idea that sparks a new idea, and again, you want to do that idea. So having all these ideas and having such a great resource of so many different ideas of how to have fun and how to be creative, I think is a great way to spark that fun, that enthusiasm in you to do more of it. I would like to go into a couple of questions that I have been asked about my instant inspiration kit. So, what if you're already a super creative person with loads of ideas and you don't even have time to carry out those ideas yet? Well, I assume you're creative because you're reading my blog. But like I just explained, I think the most creative people are the people who are constantly exposing themselves to new ideas because you need that input to create the output. I think it's Austin Kleon who says that an output problem is never really an output problem, but an output problem is always an input problem. So when you feel stuck, you will actually need more ideas, need more inspiration, need more activities and doing things you love to again be in a state where you put out more, where you create things, where you write things, where you do fun things. And it also might help to not see all these ideas as a sort of massive to-do list that you need to do. Absolutely not. It's more like a catalyst that will bring you from a place where you feel uninspired to a place where you feel like, well, maybe tonight I will create something. The other thing is that you might be afraid that if you buy it, you don't do anything with it. But you know what? If now you're in a place where you feel like you're not making enough time for doing fun things, not enough energy spent on having fun and creating things, then especially this is a very good idea. Because like I explained, it's just another way to fill this gap and a tool basically to make you go from a place where you feel uninspired to a place where you feel inspired. So if anything, I think this will only help you overcome that. Another thing I heard is like, I don't have the space. Well, hanging all the posters on your wall is really just one way of using my product, my instant inspiration kit. There's so many other ways you can use it, and if you use a little bit of imagination and creativity, I'm sure you can come up with tons of yourself as well. You can bundle them, or only maybe print your favorite poster and put that into a frame. You could frame a poster and hand it to a friend for a birthday. Or in that same category, you don't even have to frame it. You can just cut out ideas, put them in a box, and give the box as a present. There's so many different ways. For example, I have a list of questions to ask when you're stuck in a boring conversation. So you think about a context where you might use this list. Typical context would be dinner parties. So, for example, for your next dinner party, you could write all the questions on the wine glasses and with a erasable marker. So you don't necessarily need to hang the posters. You can use them in any way you want, really. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my sources of inspiration, and I hope there are things you can use as well to bring more inspiration into your life. Keep an eye out for my next video because this whole week I will be talking about overcoming blocks, living more creatively, having more fun. So it's going to be another good one. So stay tuned if you want to hear more. As always, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts on what I just explained, maybe some own opinions, your own sources of inspiration that you would like to share with me, simply leave a comment or email me, and I will be back soon with a new video. Thank you.